Morning to you. This is the November 18th edition of the map discussion. The system that is affected the North Carolina and South Carolina areas is moving off the coast. Behind it is a nice cool center of high pressure, and behind it our next storm system. So we received some rain, as you can tell by this loop, from the storm system that we had yesterday. It was very, very cool in the Charlotte metro region, especially in points north and west. That is not going to be the case today. We're going to warm up a little bit into the 60s, but we'll get into the forecast right now. This is what the weather map could look like this afternoon with the storm system off the coast of North Carolina and high pressure dominating the central part of the United States. We still have some showers and maybe some areas of fog by this afternoon across the spine of the Appalachian Mountains. Showers mainly north of Virginia and West Virginia. But as the high pressure slides eastward through tonight, we should see some fairly widespread fog across the southeast, especially across western parts of North Carolina, get into the foothills of Piedmont there. And this storm system out west is beginning to take shape with some pretty hefty snow on the back end of that by Saturday morning. By Sunday, high pressure is dominating the eastern seaboard, while that storm system has lifted north into southern Canada. And behind it becomes another significant storm here. A vast area of precipitation with maybe some ice and snow on the northern fringes of the precipitation field starting in Monday morning. And then by Tuesday, this storm system is beginning to wrap up, and some snow and ice on the back side of that. This storm system will pass on Wednesday. We expect some showers and some snow on the back end in the Dakotas, but showers and rain for the Carolinas. So let's look at this a little more closely. Beginning 7 a.m. Tuesday, November 19th, we'll have some rain beginning to infiltrate some of the Western Carolina, North Carolina mountains and South Carolina mountains. This rain shield should slide eastward, but as it does, it won't be as heavy or widespread once it makes its way through. But we could still see some rain through. So this map is at 7 p.m. on Wednesday. So Tuesday and Wednesday look to be a little wet for the Carolinas, and maybe, just maybe, some snow is possible. Now this is really, really far in advance, so things will definitely change, but maybe some snow begins to make itself known in the western part of North Carolina, especially the higher elevations. Again, this is something that needs to be watched. This is really, really far in advance, so things will change. But something to keep an eye on and something to look forward to. Zooming back out to our map. This is the storm system on Wednesday that we just saw could possibly bring some snow to the mountains of North Carolina. This system is pretty much going to sit here and kind of wind down through the rest of next week. Meanwhile, the tropics. Let's talk about the tropics. So we do have a tropical storm. This is Tropical Storm Sarah. This is our version of the National Hurricane Center forecast track. Notice that it doesn't go out after 3 days. It's going to interact with the Yucatan Peninsula and parts of Central America and North America, but Whether it survives after 3 days is in question. Now, earlier model runs earlier in the week did have this surviving the Yucatan Peninsula and getting into the Gulf of Mexico and affecting parts of Florida. However, now that we have a more southern track to this and a more westward track, it's going over more land than was initially forecast. It surviving after 3 days is in question. Even after it, let's say it does get into the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to be in a not in a great environment. So whether or not it's going to affect parts of Florida is still in question. Now, some of the models do have our Sarah storm surviving barely, and then getting up possibly to a strong tropical storm and a Category 1 hurricane by day 4 or 5, and by that time it's in the central Gulf and getting into the northeastern parts of the Gulf of Mexico coast, the coast of Gulf of Mexico. Possibility, yes. Certainty, far from it. So we still have a few days to watch this. Whether or not it affects Florida by day 4 or 5 is still up in the air. But of course, I will let you know if anything changes over the weekend. And anything that happens with this storm, I'll try to keep you up to date as much as I can. So that'll do it for this particular map discussion update. This is a look at our swirlies. So you can see the swirly off the Carolina coast is saying bye-bye to us. And you can see the northern fringes of the tropical storm Sarah down in those east or western parts of the Caribbean Sea, affecting parts of the Yucatan Peninsula. And you can see also our big ball of cold air that's wrapping up in the western part of the United States. But yeah, thank you for watching. I will keep you guys updated about this tropical system down south and any changes that are occurred in the either track or intensity. I will mention in the next video. Have a great weekend if I don't see you. Bye-bye.